In this video, we will get an understanding of what is meant by the term data type. Data types can be primitive or complex. Primitive data types are things like numbers. Complex data types are collections of other existing data types. For example, a list of numbers is a complex data type. In these slides, we will focus on primitive data types. Mobius Modeller has three main primitive data types. They are numbers, strings, and Booleans. In addition, there are also some special values and special types. Let's look at each of these in turn. Numbers can be integers or decimals, and they can be positive or negative. Strings are chunks of text. When coding, a string must be enclosed in two quotation marks. The quotation marks can be single quotes or double quotes, both are okay. Between the quotation marks, you can insert any kind of text, including any special characters. There can also be text that only contains spaces. And you can even have an empty string, defined by two quotation marks with nothing in between. The example also shows how you can have quotation marks inside your text. So in the "let's go" example, the text does not cause an error, since the single quote inside the string is different from the double quotes used to define the string. But in the "let's not go" example, it does cause an error, since the single quote inside the string is the same as the single quotes used to define the string. Booleans only have two values, true or false. There are also some special values. Here we will look at two of these, NaN and infinity. The first special value is NaN. It stands for not a number. This is a value that results from invalid operations. In this example, the variable x will be assigned a value of NaN. The second special value is infinity, which actually has a numeric data type. Infinity is an infinitely large number. So no number can be greater than infinity. Infinity can be both positive and negative. Dividing a number by 0 will evaluate to infinity. There are two special data types, null and undefined. In both cases, these data types can only have one value. The null data type can only be null. The undefined data type can only be undefined. The null value is used when you want to assign some value to a variable that represents no value. For example, maybe you create a variable that you will be used later in your code. At the point where you create it, you may not have any value yet. Then, in the meantime, you can assign null to that variable. The undefined value is similar to null in that it represents no value. But in this case, it really means that there is no value. The undefined value usually results from some other operation. In the example, a list of 3 items is created. If you then try to extract the item at index 5, the result will be undefined. This means that there is no value at that index. In the first example, we perform some simple mathematical operations with numbers. They all work as expected. In the second example, we use the addition operator with strings. The operator will concatenate the strings. So in this example, the variable called name will get a value that is 3 strings joined together. The first name, a space, and the second name. In the third example, we again use the addition operator. We create 2 variables and assign them both string values. Even though these values look like numbers, for the addition operator, they are treated as text, just like by other strings. So adding 1 and 2 together will evaluate to 12. Later, we will look more closely at some strange quirks of the other operators.